These are the top places we love about Colorado Springs in 2023, and while we love living in this area, stay tuned to the end, watch the entire video to get all the information. Hey guys, real quick before we get in that video, my name is James Dean with James Dean My Real Estate Team, and I just wanted to make sure if you haven't done this already, make sure you hit that subscription button down below, the notification bell. What that does is keeps you notified every time we come up with a new video. We do at least 2 a week, and I just want to keep you updated and just cool things to do, cool things to see out here within the Woodland Park and Teller County area, and you get to see a little bit of how I like living my life out here as well. If you've got any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. Give me a call, shoot me a text at 719-266-2725. You can also email me at info@jdmret.net, and I will get back to you as fast as I can to answer any of those questions or comments. And if you've got any real estate needs out here whatsoever, please, once again, don't hesitate. Give me a call or shoot me that email or that text. This is James Dean with James Dean My Real Estate Team, the team leader here, and I absolutely love living here, and I love helping people out here in this area too. Hope you guys like this video. Okay, so here today with one of the agents on the team, Diane Oatman, who lives in Colorado Springs. As most of you know, I live up in the Teller County area. Diane is the expert on the Colorado Springs area for sure, especially North Colorado Springs. But let's talk about things we love about living in this area today, specifically Colorado Springs. So Diane, what are some of the things that you love? What's the number one thing that you love the most when you moved here, and what you enjoyed the most when you moved here?
So this might sound weird, but I have 2 kids, and I love the school district that we were in. Lewis Palmer's school district, I think it's 38.
Yeah. But that's a great point though, because lots of folks moving here have kids. So that's a huge impact on what they're doing and what they're deciding as far as where they want to live.
Yeah, because I believe that the success of that school district was really based on parent participation. So I looked at my kids 24/7. I have my eyes on you because I volunteered at the school, teaching assistant, in the bookstore, all those things. So that was for me the main thing. The second thing that I really enjoy doing here was the Manitou Incline. I will reveal and be truthful about this, is that I only made it up to the top 1 time.
That's one more than I have. I've lived here for almost 10 years and have still never done it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, they tried forcing us in the military, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So, and I've got knees and all, there's all kinds of different reasons. I love hiking, but something about the incline for me is just like not my thing, but that's a cool thing to do.
Yes. So I make it up to the exit onto Bar Trail, which is almost like halfway up. But you know what? I'm lapping everybody that's sitting on the couch that day.
Exactly.
So I really enjoy that a lot. And another thing, I'm not really into alcohol a lot, but I love going to all the microbreweries here in Colorado. It's just amazing. I am more like a blonde beer person. The taste is clean, it's fresh, it's citrusy. So I love that.
Yeah, the breweries out here, there are so many out here. I don't think we've talked enough about the breweries because it's such a micro, it's a microbrewery, but it's such a micro climate of where we have so many different types and different styles. If you like IPAs, they've got IPAs, they got darks, they got porters, all different places that have different tastes. But one of the cool things about the breweries too, because my wife doesn't do beer. I love beer. My wife doesn't do it, but what she does love with the breweries is the food that they have out there, because a lot of them have different gourmet food trucks or even different types of little gourmet type restaurants in them where you can get food that's phenomenal.
Do you know why the microbreweries are so popular here in Colorado?
Why is that?
It's because of the quality of our water.
Oh, I believe that. Our water is amazing.
Like amazing. You get, and for you to really develop a good beer that is so tasty and cooling is because of the water that they use, and it's water coming from the springs, the aquifer here at the top of the mountain in Colorado.
So what makes New York pizza so good is the water in New York, but what makes Colorado beer so good is the Colorado water. So that's awesome. That's a good comparison. So
So another thing I like here is all the quaint little restaurants. And you have to give it to Colorado. They're into small business and entrepreneurship. So you can find all the little crazy little restaurants. And coming from the Caribbean, one of my top restaurants was the Spice Island Grill. Oh my God, they have the Jamaican jerk chicken, they have ackee, saltfish, the things that we enjoy in the Caribbean, they serve that here.
Yeah.
So I love the restaurant. The other restaurant that is one of my favorites and I recommend it to all my clients is Sugar's. So you try their Mediterranean tray.
Yeah.
It's like salad and salmon, but the best is the almond butter cake and the coconut shrimp soup.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
absolute best.
You know, I've heard of Sugar's. I've not eaten there yet, but now I want to eat there for sure. I love the Mediterranean style food, love seafood too. But when you hear Sugar's, you just think, oh, it's probably donuts or something like that. But it's obviously not.
No, it's an awesome restaurant. And then there's another one that really stood out for me, and my daughter introduced me to this restaurant, is Juicy Seafood.
Oh.
So I always, like on my bucket list, I wanted to go to Louisiana where they throw a crab oil on a table on newspapers and then you can sit and eat. I think that is one thing that I want to experience. But at Juicy Seafood, they serve you that crab oil with Alaskan crab, shrimp, and you can have it in many different flavors, like the Cajun, and I do it like extra hot.
Yeah.
And they serve it in this big heated plastic bag, and you've got a plastic bib and gloves and the works. And, you know, once a month, we go there and enjoy that restaurant. It's like $30 a meal. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but you really enjoy the food there.
Well, now you make me want to go because, like, I've seen that place so many times because we go down to Costco and we go right by it, getting back on I-25. And the name of it, I'm just like, oh, Juicy Seafood? Like, that doesn't sound good at all. But that makes sense now, knowing it's part of the Barolo stuff, because that stuff's got lots of liquid and stuff in it. So.
And you know how you could confirm that a restaurant is good? You could never find parking. No matter what time you go, there's no parking. You know, so you drive around and the car park is full all the time.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah.
point. So what are some other places that are your favorites?
So my son attended the Air Force Academy. And so we were up at the Air Force several times, but the drive to the Air Force is wonderful. It's amazing views. And tourists who are visiting or people who live here, the church, the sanctuary area with all the different religions that they practice at the church is just an amazing and interesting.
So what about that's interesting? What about with all the different religions and the different stuff they do in it's the Crystal Cathedral is what it's called, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is the Crystal Cathedral. However, within this cathedral, they have several different rooms that they practice different religions in. And so each room is dedicated. It's almost like a little bit of a culture immersion when you walk into that room because it represents the religion, the people, the culture. So that makes it so interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And I've not gotten a chance to go in there yet, but I've actually flown and landed a helicopter right next to it. That was one of my highlights of flying out here in Colorado.
Nice.
That was so cool to be able to do. It's a Secretary of State coming in, but that was a lot of fun doing that when I was in the military myself. So,
but I would like to add one more thing to the Air Force Academy. So every year when the Thunderbirds fly, that is just an amazing experience.
And that's graduation.
And that is graduation.
Yeah.
So do you know the day my son graduated, I always wanted to experience the Thunderbirds right in the stadium. I was ill and I was in the medic tent. Yes.
Oh,
and so I didn't get to experience it. But prior to that, every year we would go park up right on the interstate or off the interstate and experience the Thunderbirds.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like, that's not just it happens at the Air Force Academy, but that is a Colorado Springs event. People park all over the place with vantage points of the Air Force Academy Stadium to be able to see the Thunderbirds come through and do their air show out here. So that is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. What about because I know we were talking earlier and you were talking specifically about, you know, it's an expensive place to move to. There's a definitely high cost of living when you come here, but there's so many free things to do around here also with being near the mountains and stuff. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so like when you purchase a house and you're straining for cash at the beginning, first couple of months, you're settling into your mortgage and stuff. you know what? You can go to Garden of the Gods for free.
Yeah.
And you can get your exercise. You can get, enjoy the views. It's leisurely, spend a day at the Garden of the Gods and really, embrace nature.
Yeah.
Because you often wonder, well, how did these rocks get here? Could you imagine the amount of noise it'd make when those rocks were coming out of the ground? So that's one of the things that you can do for free.
Yeah, and that's incredible. And it's not just that, there's so many hiking trails around here too that you can do. I mean, there's so much connection with just getting outside, whether it's in the summertime, fall, spring, winter, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. There's so many things to do out here involving all of that.
So prior to moving to Colorado, I did some research, and this was the state that it was reduced obesity, like people were like always exercising outdoors. And I realized that when I moved here, that is exactly what it said it gave.
Yeah. It's easy.
It's easy.
You're not sitting in a gloomy, cloudy winter day in the Midwest or back east, just wanting to spend time watching movies. It's so beautiful out here. You want to get out and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And in addition to that, in terms of enjoying the outdoors, when I first moved here, Scott, my husband, myself, and my kids, we never wore skis. And so the only balanced sport that I did was horseback riding. And so it was my first time getting on skis, but you never allow your husband to teach you how to do anything.
Oh, yeah. So, my wife won't let me teach her anything. Yeah. I've got to pay somebody to teach her.
So, we started skiing, and then he turned into the drill sergeant that he was. Like, we got to leave here at 4 o'clock. We're up on the mountain, first powder. And so I really, at first scared about it, but then really enjoyed what Colorado had to offer. So I became a skier. I can't say that I'm black or double diamond, double blacks or whatever, but I can ski my way down blue, maybe some green, which is less stressful, into blue.
Still a lot of fun.
Yeah, still a lot of fun. And the kids got on the skis and they were off and running, but I was further away from the ground to fall. So I was
here's something I like to point out too, because I think a lot of people a lot of times have this misconception because they're just like, oh my gosh, Colorado, it's way too cold, or I miss my beach or anything else along those lines. Because I have to get my wife to the beach once a year just to kind of check that box for her, but she loves living here and she hates the cold, but she loves living here. With you coming from the Caribbean, how do you relate to the cold out here compared to other places you've been? And is it kind of offset with the amount of fun you can have out here in the cold as well?
You know what? When I first decided to move to Colorado, everybody said the same thing. It's going to be cold. You're going to be living in the snow. But it feels like, given the high elevation that we're at, almost like 7,600 feet above sea level, you feel like the sun is like 5 feet from your head.
Yeah.
So I'm on the deck shoveling snow, and then I have to take off my first layer of clothes, my second layer. Yeah. So now I'm in shorts and boots shoveling the snowbank. So it's not that bad. Yeah. Give the weather 5 minutes and it's going to change. But coming from the Caribbean, yes, I love the humidity and the beach and all that the Caribbean has to offer. Scuba diving. I love all of that, but Colorado, the views and just the mountain, it never gets old.
Yeah. And it's the views are kind of hard to explain too unless you've been out west. Because if you're coming from back east, with all that humidity, it really restricts your visibility. And you don't realize it till you come out here and you can just see, you have these unlimited views and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can see 50 miles like easily. It's just beautiful. And
when we lived in North Carolina, when I first moved to the United States and we lived in North Carolina, I didn't know any different in terms of, like where is west, where is east, where's when my husband say head north, and I was like, where is that? I don't know which direction. But here in Colorado, you always know that the mountain is to the west.
Yeah.
And then you can figure out your cardinal points from there. It's easy to traverse and travel through Colorado. So in North Carolina, the humidity was ridiculous in the summertime. So every year my husband said, are you ready to move back to the east? And I was like, absolutely not. I don't mind going for a vacation, but I love Colorado.
Yeah, that dryness just makes the heat feel different, makes the coldness feel different. I've been colder in Alabama in 40 degrees that I
That
have
is
out
correct.
here in negative temperatures. So
Yes.
yeah, it's just the wind out here is what you got to watch out for.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like when we first got the house, I said, "Can you find me a house where there's no wind?" And she's like, "Oh, my realtor." She's like, "Oh no, you need to move to a different state."
You can get trees to kind of help block it, but yeah, you're
Yeah.
still going to have the
Yeah.
wind for sure. Well, those are awesome places. And if you guys haven't gotten a chance to check out some of those, definitely do. You're going to enjoy the year as we kind of build on this channel. And then on all these places as well, you'll see Diane going to some of these places and talking about them. And that way you'll get more in depth on it. But I hope you guys really enjoyed those awesome things to do here in Colorado Springs.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, comments, whatever you've got, please send them to me. You can call, text me at 719-266-2725. You can also email me at jdmret.net, or excuse me, at info@jdmret.net. I would love to be your local real estate agent. I'd love to be your local expert. So anything, it doesn't have to be real estate related, please don't hesitate to ask. Let me know what those questions are and I will get them right back to you. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.